We went to the Eastern Cape. There's a community in a place called Takadu, which was formerly known as Lady Frey. And there's a village there called Zingolweni. In this village, 11 people were killed in a space of 7 months. And a majority of them were elderly women who lived on their own or lived with small children. These murders happened at such a rate that there was interest from the South African government.
We got a funding last year after being part of the Gender Justice Training Project, which lasted for around 6 months.
When we started investigating and going to that community after receiving the grant from the IWMF, we discovered that the elderly women were fleeing from their homes because we went there thinking that, oh, witchcraft and mental illness were the drivers of these killings. But when we got there, we found that from speaking with the residents, the deceased were said to not have had any kind of changes or symptoms of mental illness. So the community disputed the claims that the deceased were killed because they had mental illness, and they also refuted the claims that the murdered victims were killed because they were accused of being witches. And through the project, we learned that the manner in which the crimes were committed showed us that there might have been a serial killer. We know that the silence from the police, for instance, was also because of the DNA backlog. The killings were more likely influenced by criminals or a criminal who wanted to take the elderly people's grant money.
Two of us are in Johannesburg, and obviously we will have a discussions virtually, and another member is based in the Western Cape. So we will just sit and talk as to, okay, guys, since we've received funding, something that we've never had access to before, let's really try and do the best that we can do. Which provinces are we going to be visiting? Which provinces are mostly affected by these, which areas in those provinces, and which experts, community members, and other people that we will need to talk to. So it was it was not a difficult process. It was quite easy because we really, really worked so hard and together as a team.
So I think for me, what I learned is that even though you have an idea of what you want to do, you must always have room for change. Not everything that you discover or that people reveal to you should be published, mainly because sometimes we speak to people, especially in rural communities, who don't understand the media, or although you have given consent, certain things might come back and be harmful to you and your family. So I think the project was important in that it highlighted some of the struggles and some of the traumas and some of the failings from our government when it comes to protecting elderly people.